don't know whether it's cool or creepy that animals are watching you whenever you walk through a forest, from the treetops and the forest floor. Now, don't worry, those tracks and this touching canine gravestone were the only signs of large predators I encountered. Most of what I saw was actually quite small, microscopic in fact. First, let's take a look at what's been ailing a lot of us for the past couple of months. These pretty flowers, as they open, actually douse the air with huge amounts of pollen. When we breathe in these microscopic plant particles, our body actually interprets them as parasites, causing all that disgusting itching. Speaking of which, there was lots of poison ivy to watch out for on this trail. Interesting fact, the oil that the poison ivy secretes actually catches a lot of pollen. It's also this oil that makes us itch, so try to avoid both when you're walking through the woods. Unless you don't like nature, then I guess stay inside. Oh, and I also encountered this mite hanging on to the poison ivy plant. One more thing that, if it bit you, could potentially make you itch. I'm sure this pollen and poison ivy talk isn't really selling you on the idea of nature walks. Well, here's one more reason to perhaps avoid the woods. Huge clouds of insects that sometimes land on you while they're mating, or decide to siphon off your blood in order to feed their eggs. Yeah. Well, look at the bright side. At least some insects like these spiders are having a field day, a feast off of all these insects. Now, one reason these guys are around is there's a large amount of flooding because of the huge amounts of rain we've been getting. That turns the forest into a sort of heaven on earth for these amphibians. How about we jump in and see what they're bathing in? What you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is a cloud of aquatic microorganisms. Perhaps bacteria, though I can't be sure. They're a little bit too small for my instruments to resolve. Whatever they are, they've created an abundant food source for larger animals like this Vorticella to feed upon. There are also a lot of single-celled amoeba with dome-shaped shells on their back. They move in such a slow, slug-like fashion that I actually had to speed up this footage. Moving up the evolutionary tree, I also encountered several types of rotifers, microscopic, multi-celled animals. And as if things weren't weird enough, now there are bugs raining from the sky. It turns out Huntley Meadows waters are also a nursery. This copepod is a microscopic crustacean that undergoes dramatic changes as it grows. So if you thought human puberty was rough, just imagine growing a tail and antennae. Think about that as we continue our walk. Wait a second, there's one more thing I want to show you. What do you think is creeping along in this moss? Well, I'm not going to tell you this week. You're going to have to wait till next week. Hope to see you next time. In the meantime, check out my YouTube, Instagram, or website if you want to see more of my work. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week.